Welcome back to Quiet Money Podcast, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. We're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quiet Money Podcast. I am your host, Dax. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. I got my co-host with me,
Miranda,
a.k.a. Randy.
aka Randy.
Ain't she beautiful, y'all? Hey, Randy, how you feeling today? You good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's got you feeling good today? I know your coffee got you feeling good. We got that right off the break.
Yeah, I think it could use a little stir. You
Do we even
stirred it?
got a stir in there?
No, that's all right though. But did you stir it or you just
I
heated
didn't,
it
but
up?
mine's is straight though.
Oh, see,
Mine's is good.
I know it would be better if we stirred it though.
Maybe.
But I'm not about to get up and go get it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you for the coffee.
Nah, no problem. You excited today?
Mm-hmm.
Anxious? How you feeling today? Because we had a little rough day yesterday. But how you feeling this morning? I know I feel good this morning. So how you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's got you feeling good?
I'm doing the things that I said I was going to do.
I love that. We ain't get to that. We ain't get to that in a second. It's early, but listen. People, as they're listening to our show, we want to tell them why they should listen to our show, and they'll learn as they go through and join, right? But at the same time, quiet money. What is quiet money to you? Go ahead.
I feel like it's such a loaded question.
Go ahead.
But to me, quiet money is just about being different, not necessarily having to speak on everything. Maybe sometimes not needing to speak on anything, which doesn't make you powerless. But I'm just saying, making decisions differently. When I think of the money, I think of currency, but not financial currency. Like money can be a mindset.
Hey, now I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but like when I think about currency, money could be knowledge. So when I think about quiet money, that's what I think about.
All right.
What do you think about?
I'll tell you what I do. Quiet money for me, and why I'm doing this is because I want to maximize my natural gift and what I'm put on earth to do. That's unique to me. And if a lot of people recognize it, that's cool. But if not, I want to do that thing that I was meant to do, and I want to live my life for myself. And I feel like quiet money and what we're doing as a brand and people that listen to our show, I just want to hear from people that's doing well, happy in life, but being authentic to themselves and really feeling like they actually got to know themselves. And I feel like that's what I'm getting to do more, is actually know myself more, not be afraid to do these things that I'm, blessed
Take a
to
risk.
do. Yeah, take a risk. And I'm taking it with you. Taking it with you makes it easier to, you know what I'm saying? For sure. All right, but look, before we talk about, I got to get me a little hood or something for my coffee. But look, before we talk too much about what the show is about, and we'll get into all that stuff, I do want to talk to you about some stuff today. But
okay,
I know you, and you know me, right?
And we know each other.
And we know each other, but most people don't know who we are. So before we talk too much about quiet money, who's Randy? Why don't you, tell me a little bit about who's Randy? Like, who's this person people gonna be hearing from as they go through the ups and downs of life with you? Like, who is Randy? And a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. Be chilling. Take your time.
There's so many sides to me, but right now, I am a woman who is focused on finding my purpose, living in it, defining success, and also pleasing God. Like,
that's a lot, I'm just saying that's a lot, but
and that's me just trying to summarize it. But I'm really leaning on the Lord and praying for some change in my life.
I don't think I got anything better than that. I don't have anything better than that. But okay, so that's who Randy is, all right? Okay.
Today.
That's who Randy is today. Are we gonna learn who Randy used to be, or we gonna or we gonna let that go?
You gonna definitely learn who I used to be.
All right, all right, all right, all right. So that's
Now,
who Randy
because
is. All right.
authenticity and
Mm-hmm.
just being able to share those things, transparency
Yeah.
is very important. Because
Okay.
that's why you should listen to us.
Transparency.
Transparency.
I think there's a level of transparency that we're gonna go to that we're not even completely aware right now we're gonna do it. I think we feel it, but we don't know. But it's cool
Yes,
though.
and that's
You know
why
what
I
I'm
said
saying?
I'm leaning on the Lord.
That's what I said.
Because he gonna have to show me, Father,
Right,
you
right.
sure you want me to share this?
Yeah, you
Give
true.
me strength.
Hey, hey, yo, you about to have me laughing this whole thing. All right, so look,
that's
that's who
how that's
Randy
how my
is, right?
walk with the Lord goes sometimes.
Yeah, I
So
feel you.
okay.
I feel you.
Go ahead.
Anything else? Anything else we need to know right away on who Randy is? You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh,
think that's it for today.
that's it. All right, cool, cool. All right, who's Dax? Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so who's Dax? Dax is a moment maker. You know, I like to make moments. I think that's what I'm all about. Dax is somebody that realizes the importance of life and trying to maximize every moment of life. You know, Dax is a analytical person for sure. He thinks a lot, a lot. You know, Dax likes to have fun. He definitely likes to take risk, and honestly, the last thing I would say is Dax is unique. I really believe that. I think Dax is he has a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's who Dax is. He could be funny, he could be serious, he could be driven, he could be lazy, he could be healthy, he could be unhealthy. He kind of goes through all the swings of life and the ups and the downs and everything. That's Dax. You see him at his
Mm-hmm.
highest and you see him at his lowest, and the whole time he's making it very clear for you to see it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's who Dax is. It's very
Hmm.
he
Let
it's
well let
very
me ask you
open.
something.
Yeah. What's up?
Why do you refer to yourself like when coming up with that in third person?
I don't
It's like
know.
you stepped outside of yourself. That was
Well,
kind of interesting.
yeah. Well, hmm, I did do that. I did do that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I said I was analytical, so when I really wanted to describe myself, I really wanted to just look at who I am honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And as you talked about with like transparency, you have to think about it for a second because your natural response is to just go through your highlights and just say the good things about
Right,
yourself.
right, 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 right.
But I try to just look at myself independently as its own thing
Mm-hmm.
and what is really happening there. Not what I want to be happening or what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's partly part of it. Another part of it, which I'll be real quick about it, is something that I did recently at work that probably trained how I was thinking. I'm gonna bore you with this, but I had to do something recently that was all about kind of assessing your own capabilities. You know what I mean? Like your skills or the things that you're good at, like a little assessment thing internally. And I had to do it for myself, then I had to do it for other people. I found that when I did it for myself, it seemed pretty easy. I went through it. I'm like, oh, I'm good at this, did that, you know. And then when I had to do it for other people, of course, they had thoughts on it, and we went back and forward on it. And I realized how challenging it was for me to arrive at the right view of somebody else's capabilities. They would come back and tell me, well, actually, I can do this, 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 and that. And I'm like, oh, I never knew that. So I
Mm-hmm.
was learning some things. So what I thought of the person, I had to mirror it with what they thought to come to a real truth. That was the whole exercise. So internally, when it was I had to do mine, I looked at mine, somebody did mine with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of arrived at a new space for me. So I say all that because I just kind of realized that if you just respond from your person,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really true.
Mm.
Even that's a natural thing because what's mixed in there is like how you feel and how you want it to be, and maybe how you look at yourself, and it's not very objective.
Yeah.
So I think I'm that exercise has got me into this objective
Mm-hmm.
view of myself
Mm-hmm.
and not a personal feelings view. It's just very objective. So that's really what I am. I'm somebody that will hit it out the park like on a home run, and I'm somebody that would strike out all in the same week on the same thing.
Right, right, right,
And
right. Yeah.
that's who I am. So I'm not somebody that's always hitting home runs all the time. And when I'm hitting home runs, I like everybody to see it and celebrate it. But also when I'm getting struck out, people see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hide it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's me. So I'm realized that like so I like to hit home runs more often, but I'm the type of person that you will see go up and down through struggling through things and trying to be better.
Yeah.
So that's feel like that's who I am. Quiet money. I talked a little bit about that, what quiet money is, but when you think about quiet money and what you want from the show and what you want from a community of listeners and people that's going to be tapping in with us, the ups and downs of life.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you? Like why are we doing our show to cover both the good and bad times of things?
To prepare, to help people prepare, because there are going to be good times and there are going to be bad times.
Mhm. Ups and downs, you know what I
Ups and
mean?
downs, they're part of life and they're coming. So
Hmm.
let's learn how to deal with them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Any recent? Well, I could tell you we had an up and down yesterday. Even just getting ready for the show, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things we was talking about yesterday was why don't you like go through with things? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or why don't you push yourself to that limit past your natural winging it type thing? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I think part of it is that I didn't say, which is true, that happened to us is when you actually really try to go forward with your purpose or challenge yourself, you get knocked down. It don't go well. So what happens after that? You can go right back to the comfort level of what you was doing before
Mm-hmm.
because that comfort level, see the thing that people I think take the wrong way is when you say comfort level, they assume that that's a negative result. That's not true.
Right.
My comfort level in my whole life has given me a lot of success. It's
Mm-hmm.
just not the success I could have gotten. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But it was success, and if I've lived my life based on what other people thought about it, I would have no reason to complain because I've been killing it this whole time. But internally, I could say, no, I could be better. There's something that I'm ignoring. There's another path that I'm supposed to be taking. I know that. You know that. We talk
Mm-hmm.
about it. But everybody don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But that's why like when it comes to that word success, it's real tough to really define what it is because it's really measured by, to me, internally what you really really want out of life and what God has wanted for you to have out of your life. That's the real success. Everything else is very, very hard to go after because it changes all the time. And like you're always chasing something, and only you really know if you've answered that little thing on the inside. Nobody can validate that for you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what
Yeah.
the success, what actually happens. So like even with you, to me, you've been successful. You're walking success to me. You know what I'm saying? You do everything you do from having businesses, your work full time job, your mama, your team manager for soccer. You know what I mean? You're doing all these things. You can go out, take care of yourself your whole life. I think it's successful.
Oh.
But you probably feel like you haven't gotten started on anything that you really, really want to do or can do.
No, but see, you look at me as successful because of that. But I can say I'm successful because of how I feel about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the process, like I've kind of fallen in love with this process of bettering myself and being aligned with like what God wants me to do. So because I'm like happy with me, I would say that's what makes me successful because I can be happy. I may never make it to the results. Like I don't know what the end looks like because I'm every day I'm just piecing stuff together, but I'm finding joy in that. And then I can look back and be like, you know what? I'm all right.
Hey, so I got a question though. You say you fell in love with that process of bettering yourself. Where did
Hmm.
that even start? Because I'll just say that, at least for me or the average person, you say, "Oh, I want to be better. I want to improve." Like you just throw these thoughts out there, but it don't really turn into a process that you enjoy doing, like you. Because if it's a process, you're actually doing things. So my question for you is like, how did you get from the thoughts to actually doing things? Because I feel like that is what is one of the biggest things for people. I think most of us at some point in our lives want better for ourselves, or we feel that we have a purpose or a gift or whatever. But those thoughts never become things. They never become things that we do. But for you, you say you fell in love with that. I know you're not perfect, of
Yeah.
course, but how did your initial thought of like, hey, I want to be better, or I want to be a better mother, I want to be a better business person, I want to be a
Hmm.
better cook, whatever it is, how did that turn from something you thought to something you actually do?
To action.
Yeah.
Um, I've accepted that I'm gonna die one day.
Mm.
And I don't know when that day is going to be. I can't assume that I'm going to die of old age. So I very well think that I always, like, I live a little differently. Like, today could be my last day here. What legacy or what am I going to leave? Like, what's my purpose? So I think the action is, just trying to get clarity from God. Cause I'm like, when I think about death, I'm going to face
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality. I'm going to face him and we're going to account for my life.
Oh, jeez. Nah, but that's true
I
though.
mean, but it's
That's
a
true.
real day.
Yeah.
And it's I think about it because I recently lost my mom. Just sick. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks, 3 weeks later, gone. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would maybe you hope to see it. I don't know. I don't think too much about it, but I'm like today could be my last day. I want to make sure that I'm right with God, and then I want to be happy with myself. Like knowing that whatever I'm supposed to be doing, I'm in the process of doing it like I'm working on it. So,
Nah, nah, that's amazing. And
man, you got me going
no,
on,
no, listen, listen, listen.
exposing.
No, it's all right. It's all right. But at the same time, what you're basically saying is that life is something that you're not playing with, and there's an urgency to what you're doing, and you realize that you don't have unlimited time, and that's the trap that all of us fall into by default because we don't live every day thinking like that. Things happen that make us think like that. We lose loved ones, we get put in that moment, and then we quickly go back to status quo, living about ourselves or trying to be like other people or caught up in all the mix of what everything's that's going on and not really thinking about your decisions and how impactful they are and the fact that you may not be here tomorrow to
Right.
make another one. I want to ask you another question with that too, because as you talk about your mama and when people talk about quiet money and ups and downs of life and talking about success and you know why we're here and all those kind of things, like how do you feel, and I hope I could say this, but how do you feel being here doing your podcast, your first episode? You mentioned losing your mama. How do you feel doing this knowing that your mama supported you the way that she did, and that she was probably one of the first people to really believe you was meant to do something bigger than what you was doing. Because we had damn conversations. Do you have like a sense of pride doing this? Do you have a sense of anxiety doing it? Do you feel like it's purposeful, your mission? Like, how do you feel knowing that, your mama had your back like that and believed in the fact that you was like destined for something bigger? And now you're here. Because I noticed, I'm not trying to take somewhere, but I know this is not the most comfortable thing. But your mama, I would say, even maybe before I did, was there wanting you to get out and talk to people and share you,
Mhm.
like share you with people, not your services, that kind of thing, but like sharing you. She wanted that. And now you're here. How you feel about that? And I know that's a lot, but it's true.
Grateful.
Sorry.
Yeah. Um a lot of people don't have somebody that's going to pour positivity into you and encourage you and talk to you, and so yeah, I'm grateful and I want to give that. Yeah.
I'm happy for you too. It's harder for me because, you know, and of course, I'm so sorry for everything that happened. Didn't mean to make you say it this morning, but the kind of transparency, it's been something for me. Like, I know I have to do this with you because I was there right with your mama and watching her talk to you like that. And I'm had conversations with her in the kitchen about you and how proud she was. And it's something about how somebody looks at you in their eyes that tells you the way that they admire you and how much they believe in you. And we got that picture of all of us, and you got a picture of you and her in that Based in accounting shirt. I'm not. This is something for you to always cherish, but you got to look at her eyes and the love and belief and pride that she had, man. I'm so happy for you because I knew way before me coming in here with you, I knew that you had a lot to share, and I'm so glad you're gonna be doing that now. I'm gonna rock with you, you know what I'm saying? But she's a big reason why we're here because she got us kind of thinking outside of
Mhm.
what we were comfortable doing. And what we were comfortable doing, like I mentioned, was succeeding. That's the thing I want people to understand. Like, you can be succeeding and still not have got to that place of why you're really here and living life for yourself.
Yeah.
You can succeed copying other people. You can succeed doing all types of things. You can succeed doing bad things. It's
Mm.
about what real success is about. And if you don't have any type of alignment with God as part of your success thought, it ain't what we think is what real success would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a big part also of why I think you look at things the way you do now. Of course, with your mother and stuff like that. But you talked about seeing Jesus afterwards.
Mhm.
Not everybody lives life making decisions like, all right, I got to think about some important thing afterwards.
And I
Nah,
still be messing up.
no, but I'm saying, like, if you
Yeah.
think about it, like, a lot of the world, like, in the messages, is not about something important happening after this. The world tells you that everything important is happening today, and you need to make it about today and make it about yourself because that's what it's like the opposite.
Mhm.
You get it? Like, not to go too deep into that, but it's literally the opposite. Like, God's way is like it's about eternity, and the world tells you it's about right now. That's the difference. It's
Yeah.
like black and white, and then they put all this other kind of word into like make it, but that's really what it is. The world wants you to live for now, everything is about now. This is life. You got one life, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
true. But you're making decisions based off of something you think that's extremely important that happens afterwards. So that's a big difference. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that shows a lot of just your belief system. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. I'm glad that you are that type of person. You know what I'm saying? And
Me too.
yeah, for sure. No, but I'm just saying, like you're living for, like you're looking at things totally different, and that's a fundamental difference of even our show and what we're gonna be talking about is because we're talking about quiet money. We're talking about living a life purposeful, but it's like God's purpose.
Yeah. But you know, I
That's the
I
difference.
I learned a lot from you.
Me learn what from me?
How to look at life.
Really?
Yes. Like you always give good examples, good stories, detailed ones. And
All right.
even like the Bible, you like, you know.
I remember some stories from when I was young.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So you've had a big influence as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got me
I
thinking about future generations and stuff.
Yeah. You've been a big influence on me too. You,
Really? No.
yeah. You are. You're the reason why, I don't just make money, I actually keep some of it now. So that's been a big impact. I don't spend it all.
So when we met,
Oh, is that where we begin? Is that where we begin?
no, so I'll just say we have two different types of personalities. In relationships, you have a saver and a spender in most cases. And Dexter's been the spender and I've been the saver. And that's it.
Yeah, but then you also got earners and investors. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, like it's different. So it's not just
Hmm.
saving and spending. So,
I'm
but
just being general because I
all
wasn't
right.
trying to get all
Oh,
into
all right, yeah,
detail.
yeah, my fault.
That's
But no,
all.
you helped me a whole lot with money management
Yeah.
and just a whole lot of things. Being organized,
Hmm.
setting the smart goals and trying to be accountable and trying to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You bring all that into my life for sure. You know, for sure.
Well, you bring the fun into mine.
I do.
Hmm.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm like, we
We
gonna do
have a
what?
lot of we have a lot of fun there. I think we do.
Yeah,
Not
it's
not
a
as
good
much as we
balance.
should,
We
but
have responsible fun. No, I think for the amount that you work
yeah, yeah.
and
I mean, we do a lot for what
well,
is available.
we've been having more fun lately.
Mm.
In more ways than one.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, that shit is not even what this shit is about. Yeah, oh my gosh.
How you know?
I don't know. I don't know. It's about the ups and downs in life.
Hey,
That's a fact.
today we are happily married.
What do you mean today? Nah, that's
uh,
a yeah,
there
nah.
are ups and
Yeah, it's
downs.
ups and downs. It's ups and downs. We gotta jump on that today, though.
Mm-mm.
Not an episode one. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
No, no, no. But I'm just saying, like, I don't mind talking about some things.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. I know. I know. So, hey, so what are we doing today? Like, do we have plans for today?
Yes.
Because you talk about being intentional.
My whole day is planned out.
What is it? Give me a couple things on your list.
Okay.
I know this was one of them, obviously.
So it started with quiet time,
Yeah.
workout,
Hmm.
um, based in accounting work,
Hmm.
potting. I have some cleaning up to do.
You
So I
know
need
today is
to
a holiday, right?
well, actually the holiday's tomorrow.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just
true.
off today.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, yeah. You're right.
So I have some laundry to do. Like I want to have a productive day in
Hmm.
the house because really the holiday ends in 2 days. Excuse
Gotcha.
me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I gotta take some stuff and ship it. So the post
Hmm.
office is open. Yep, that's it.
See. So let me ask you something. So as we're having our weekend and a couple things we've been talking about, and I think we had a pretty good weekend so far, and family time and all that. I think one of the things I want to touch on real quick is trying to do everything. So you're organized, I'm not. But one of the things as we're trying to better ourselves, how do you touch on everything in the weekend like that? How do you do it? So like cooking, taking care of the house, me and you is trying to do our thing, spend time. We got one business we're trying to go. We got podcasting to do. You have your own internal stuff. You're up 5 o'clock in the morning in the closet praying and all that. Like, how do you do it all? And what do you tell somebody that would say, I just got too much on my plate? Because I feel like, and I'm asking you that because look how long it kind of took us to do certain things from when we first started. So, what do you tell that person? Because I'm asking you, not me, because you're the one that's fell in love with. You said you fell in love with organizing and being better and all that. So, what do you tell that
Mhm.
person that's like, yo, you don't understand. I got too much stuff going on. I can't do XYZ thing that I'm supposed to do. What do you tell them?
Figure out what you can manage. Like get some things off your plate. Delegate. Um, ask for help. Use your children. Start having the kids help out more around the house. Help with the dishes. Help with like we had to go through some boxes. We were cleaning out some of the boxes to put in your mom's closet.
Mm,
I called Christian like, hey, help me carry this stuff upstairs. Hang it up in the closet. So ask for help. Focus on what it is that you want to do. So there are so many things that I want to do to the house right now,
right.
but I've picked one thing. So I'm not going to focus on doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just going to focus on that one. So that's going to be on the plate.
Mm.
And then I'll have some other things in the background that I know I've written it down somewhere.
So, did you
So
take anything off the list completely, or did you just say, I'm going to do it later?
I'm going to do it later.
Okay.
But it can wait because you have to learn what you can and can't manage.
Now, when you're trying to do big things, because with our show, and as we're talking about people succeeding and doing the own thing and taking risk, most of the time when you take a risk to do something, it's a big thing. If it's a big thing, it takes time,
Got to make
it
time
takes
for it.
money, it
Got to
takes
make time for
sacrifices, that
it.
kind of thing, right? Do you think, and I'll tell you from me, but do you think that sometimes you actually might have to tell yourself no or take something off of your plate completely to be able to prioritize that new thing? Or do you think it's something like what you do where you put it off later, just reprioritize it? Like, how do you do it?
It depends.
Okay. Give me
That's
an
it.
example. Give me something that you would say, hey, I'm trying to launch a new business. I'm trying to do this. So maybe I'm going to just take something off of my plate. Or anything that you've taken off of your plate that was hard to do, even.
Well, I can say right now, this podcast is big.
Mm-hmm.
The things that we're doing in our business is big. And then the cooking to me is big. For these three big things, and cooking is big for me for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am really it just makes me feel like a good mom and wife. Like it makes me feel domesticated. So anyway, and I like that feeling. Like I'm out here killing the mom thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how you react to a home cooked meal.
But you're not making no money doing that.
I know. But my family is my ministry. So I feel like
I like that.
I'm pouring my heart into it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was getting into is that I have to make time for podcasting. I have to make time for the business. And for the cooking, I will make time for it, but I had planned to take some cooking classes online. I've moved that to the background. I don't have to do that. I can still, like we've been married for 8 years. So I've been doing something. I'm not going to be able to perfect it right now, but I can still work on it and we're going to wing this
Mm-hmm.
thing. We just going to wing it and see what happens in the kitchen. I'm going to be a self taught home chef.
You definitely been doing your thing lately, though. Especially whatever you did with that little casserole in the crock pot with the onions and the
Yeah,
peppers
yeah,
and
that's
the
me
chicken
winging
and
it.
all
I'm like,
that.
I'm just gonna give them,
That's
what I
crazy.
got.
Yeah.
Look at videos here and there. But that's how I'm not focused on it.
Yeah.
But I have to make time for
You have to do
the
it.
very,
So no
very important
excuse. You
thing.
gotta find the time to do it.
I gotta, or
You
else it's
got
not
to,
gonna get
or it's
done.
not gonna get done. Nah, I tell you, for me, sometimes you do have to make the hard decision. I'm gonna tell anybody that's listening. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
If you really want to do something big, sometimes you do have to make a big sacrifice, and it might be the one you don't want to make. And I think that's one thing that happens sometimes. And I'm dealing with it now, but the thing you have to sacrifice is the thing you don't want to sacrifice.
Of
Of
course.
course, right? But I'll tell you, like, one decision that you might have to make is to definitely take some off your plate. So, like, with me, we're doing the podcast, we got business, we got the family, I work still, I coach. I'm coaching two teams. I want to go forward now and maximize the premier team that I have. I want to put everything into my show with you, my business. So then I'm sitting there and I had to sacrifice something. Now, I say this because the thing that I'm sacrificing, not an easy thing to sacrifice. One of my soccer teams, I can't coach them anymore, right?
Hmm.
This is the first team that I started with where I'm getting players at entry level and teaching them the bare basics of soccer. Love it. It's not easy to walk away from it. But I do know that I'm trying to do something big. So, with the responsibilities I have, if I really, really want this new thing that I believe is big and I believe is what I'm meant to do, if I really want to maximize that, every moment I spend not doing that has to be worth it.
Yeah.
Or I don't really mean it.
Yeah.
That's what I think that's the point. Like, I don't really mean it. So I coach one team, I put everything into it, but I shouldn't be doing something else if I could use that time and put it into this. So it's almost like what is really most important to you?
Hmm.
Not that everything isn't important, but what's most important, what's most timely and urgent for you to do and impactful. Is there only so much you to go around? Is there only so much me? You know what I mean? Is there only so
Yeah.
much you? So the sacrifice that you got to make, I know I made one. Might have to make another one. I know sometimes you've made it. We find ourselves ordering out more than we want one week because that week you sacrificed your cooking girl to hit something else.
Yeah.
It changes all the time.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. It actually changes. Sometimes it could be week to week where you have to prioritize the other one girl over the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what helps too is to have a positive attitude
Hmm.
when you're making those adjustments because you're going to have to make those adjustments.
That's
So
true.
just keeping a positive attitude while you're doing it and being okay with doing your best, which I know you get tired of hearing from me, but I know that I am doing
I
my
don't get
best.
tired of hearing that.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I don't get tired of hearing that. That's a misunderstanding.
No, because I think you think it's an excuse sometimes.
But who am I to say you making an excuse?
I know.
I know, but I do it. Just back to that whole evaluation thing. Like it's hard. It's easy for you to point it out on somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very easy
Hmm.
to do that. But
But also, you know my potential,
you know
and
mine
if I'm
too.
not living up to it, then you might just call me out on it. You know.
Vice versa. That's why it's tough. That's hey, and you know what? Listen, yo, I'm getting off topic right now, but
Hold on
if
though.
go ahead, go ahead.
You right though,
What?
because sometimes I don't believe you when you're like, I'm doing my best.
I know you
I'm
don't.
like,
That's why you give me. That's why you be all sassy, give me attitude, and I'll be like, "Why you acting mad, man?
is
Because
this
it's
your best?
because and then I'll be mad. I'll be mad. But the thing, what I was gonna say, you just touched on is like, if you are blessed, if you're listening right now, if you are blessed, whether it's your girlfriend, wife, it could be a friend, whatever it is, cousin, uncle. If you got somebody in your life that actually knows you enough to call you out on the BS, just be thankful for it. You know what I mean? It's annoying, but listen, if you're living your life all on your own with nobody that's gonna call you on the BS, you're really at a loss because you're gonna be lying to yourself throughout your whole life and never holding yourself accountable for things. It's a blessing and a curse, but it's a blessing to have somebody that really knows you that could cut through all the stuff you say that sounds good and could just say nah. You
So,
know what I'm saying?
would you say that having a wife is important?
I would say that having you is important.
Mhm. Okay. And what about other men?
I'm not interested in other men. What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm just saying a young person
You know,
listening or like any middle-aged person, whatever, like, do you think that having a wife makes you better?
but I don't know if it's a wife though. But for me, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a friend. A lot of times, as you're getting older, if you want to have family and stuff, you want to be in love. Of course, a wife. But like to me, it's more of a friend. I don't think it's a wife. To me, it's because to me, all relationships underneath it are truly friendships, and a real
Mm-hmm.
friend is ride or die with you through the good and bad times, and they will tell you what you want to hear and what you don't want to hear. And if you're lucky to have a true friend in your life that will ride through life with you, be thankful for that. And if that friend becomes your wife, like you did,
Yeah.
then that's even better. But if they don't, it's all good. But to me, it's really about friendships. And that could be whether it's my father, my mother, my
Yeah.
uncle, like that motherly, fatherly, uncle nephew relationship is not what gets me what I need through the tough times of life. That's not the things that get me the accountability when I'm BSing and making excuses.
Yeah.
The uncle is not what's doing that for you. It's the fact that they care enough and love you as a friend.
The relationship.
That's what it's all about. So you are my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like marrying you was just another thing that was big, but it's just something else I did with my friend. And that's why it's all good. Just like this. So we
I
got married,
know.
we went party together, we did other experiences together, we leave off, we did stuff, and now we got money together, we podcast together, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So and you're seeing me in bad times, and you're seeing me when I'm on my up, and you're real with me,
Yeah.
and that's why it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
That just made me feel like just warm and fuzzy. I'm just cheesy.
Nah,
Like,
for real
oh my
though.
gosh.
Yeah,
But I
that's
do
for
feel the
real.
same way
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah, if you weren't my friend, we wouldn't even be married right now. If you think about it,
Yeah.
like if it was just based off of like, nah, it's just we like whether you like it or not, we kind of just be friends and ride through the rough and hard truths and just keep it 100, like we about to do on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Like we are doing
We are doing.
on the show.
We are doing. What's something we had to deal with yesterday? Some people probably could relate to is as you are going for your dreams and whatever it is, one of those things might be business. And having your own business is tough. And some of the decisions you have to make are tough. But recently, we have gone through the process of making some big changes to our business that we have not ultimately agreed on throughout. We've had
Mm-hmm.
different conversations and frustrations. I want to ask you, without getting into all the details, what is it like being in business with somebody? Obviously, it's me. Well, okay. But what is it like being in business with somebody and having to communicate things that you believe are going to be tough or things that you think need to change? What was that like for you? Tell me. No, seriously. What was that like for you? Because I saw it was hard. And where do you think things are going now? How do you feel about everything? You could be
What was it
honest.
like communicating to
Mm-hmm.
you?
Yeah, because it's not all good. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got businesses together. What's succeeding, but we changed some things recently, and me and you were kind of beefing a little bit. So I just wanted to know for you, what is that like? Because I could tell it was challenging for you to come and tell me the things you thought should change and why and that type of stuff. So I just,
Yeah. I mean, it was challenging
what was challenging about it for you? I'm pretty sure you're not the only woman or man
because
out there
no,
that
it was
has to do that.
challenging because I know how much you care about the business and how
Hmm.
much it means to you. So coming to you and having to explain things and I think the challenge was I didn't want to feel misunderstood.
Hey, that's the key word with us.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah. I didn't want you to think I was being weak either because I spent a lot of time like really, really learning, trying not to include you in certain things. And I just didn't want you to think it was another one of those things that I was complaining about.
Now, why did you take the approach of not including me when you was getting the information? And I wanna ask you this honestly. I
Mm.
don't know I don't know how deep we could go on this show, but I'm gonna keep it 100. But why didn't you feel comfortable bringing me along the journey the entire time? Is it because you thought I wouldn't be interested? Is it because you didn't want to be judged? Is it because you felt like it had to be good enough of an idea already for you to bring it to me for me to be, like receptive to it? Because you kind of went off on your own, figured out that this thing is like actually good, and then came back. And I'm curious why you did that.
Because I was going to hurt your feelings. Like you have a lot of pride. So I know you will be bothered by me getting help from somebody other than you. But I did it anyway because I know how much pride you have in your business. So I know that, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have to be successful at it.
Hmm.
So I can then turn around and say, look at the work that I've put into our business to get it here.
All right, so we're gonna have our first question on our show. In the comments, I want you to know if you are somebody like Randy and you got a difficult business partner or somebody that you think is very prideful, the feelings will get hurt if they got different ideas and you want to change things and you know that they take everything personal. Would you
Gosh.
do would you do what Randy did and go behind the person's back and try to figure out something on your own? Or would you still just face them up front and keep the communication open? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, back to what you were saying.
But I can't
So,
say that I
yeah,
went behind your back because I was giving you like just a little bit like, yeah, I'm working with some people to
giving
help.
me a little bit of nothing. Giving me just enough to say, you did hear that I said I was doing something. That's all you wanted to. You was like plausible deniability. Like, yeah, you heard. Remember, I said I was on the phone that day. You remember that day you heard me?
Yeah.
I was actually talking to a consultant. All right, cool. Yeah, I heard you making noise on the phone. Okay,
Okay. So how'd it work out?
let's not jump to that. No, but actually, you know what? The changes you've made have been amazing.
Thank you.
But I was interested, and I wanted people to kind of hear about like the fact that as close as we are and everything we talked about, friends and all the stuff we did together, like that's something we clearly got to work on because we in business together. You want to make something better, you had to do it on your own. That's how you felt. So there's something we got to fix. Same thing with this. We have a show today. Maybe tomorrow you think it could be better. How would we fix that? Would I come into our studio tomorrow and find 5 microphones? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't know. But that's not your fault. That's our fault. That's something we both got to fix. Probably something I got to fix. Because I'm pretty sure that it's not, there was no rush of excitement that you got doing it on your end. I don't think so.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's every time you did it by yourself, you weren't like, oh, I feel 10 times better because that's just not here. You probably just felt more free, more relieved.
Yeah, but I also missed you because now it's like if I'm the person that's having the consulting. I can't explain it to you the same way the consultants explain it to me because they're selling me something. They're making me believe something too. I don't have that skill yet, but I'm trying to get it.
Hmm.
But this also goes back to what we were talking about earlier, like when you have a lot on your plate. One of those was, improving the business, delegate, ask for help, So
Yeah, that's true. But that's why, that's true. But nah, that's back to like trying to put yourself around the right people, which is very true. Like if you want to be successful, being around successful people really helps. But to your point, pride could be the enemy to something like that,
Yeah.
which would be me. Because I am, you know, I agree. I'm a pretty prideful person. I think I'm pretty educated, smart, naturally, whatever the case. So I would want to, and I'm also analytical, so it takes me a while to make decisions because I like to think a whole lot. And sometimes that's
Mhm.
good, and sometimes that's not. Sometimes you guys got to make a move. It's timely. You ain't got all day to sit there thinking, 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 pondering. Sometimes you do need to take your time and think it through. So every skill set you has like a positive, negative. You don't need to think about stuff as much as I do. You realize, hey, this ain't working. Okay, I gotta fix this because I can't be feeling like this no more. That's how you move.
That
But
is
that's
how I
cool.
move.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Me,
sometimes it take me a while to realize it
right,
though.
but that's okay though, because
Yeah.
I don't like how I feel. I need to fix this. Me, I feel like crap, but until I know the right way to fix it, I do nothing. No, it's true. So who is better? Sometimes it depends on the circumstance.
Mhm.
And that's why we work well together too. You see what I'm saying? Because while I'm sitting here making sure and thinking everything through, you taking action on some things. And sometimes when you want to go jump out there and take action on stuff, I could pull you back a little bit and
Mhm.
say, yo, we got to really think this through. And that has happened.
That happened recently,
That has
yeah.
happened. That's why we go well. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when you're in business with somebody or any type of partnership, like I wouldn't say opposites are great, but I would say that somebody that brings some of those things that you don't have is good for any type of connection between people, whether it's
Mhm.
relationship, friendship, business. If they come with everything that you already have, there's no growth.
They can't challenge you.
There's no growth. You know what I'm saying? So you and I, we grow together organically because our strengths do not match at all. They don't.
Mm.
And that's why it's good though. We always could push on each other. And then when you push on each other, it's like that middle ground becomes dangerous, you know. But that's a good thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what's up, Randy. That's what's up, man. Serious. You know what I mean? But we worked through it and we're still working through it. But back to that though, which was the hard decision. You wanted to make a change. We talked about you kind of went behind my back, whatever. But now we're in a better state. How did it feel actually seeing that the change you made was the right thing? And how did you feel actually seeing that even though you wanted to bring me along, you actually didn't need me for that one? How did that make you feel?
I mean, I hadn't thought about it because I feel like I do need you, just differently. So
Okay.
with making the change, it made me develop
Hmm.
because I had to learn some new skills. But I still always have you in the background, like encouraging me, letting me know that I can do it.
And you missed that.
So
That's what's up.
yeah, yeah. But it was fine though because
Hmm.
I needed to learn. Like, yes, you can do it.
Hmm.
You can. So,
You
but
did it.
I still couldn't do it without you though.
Whatever.
No, but for
Nah, I
real
believe.
though, because
But nah, it's
it's
good
not
though.
easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy being an entrepreneur.
It's not.
No.
Now, here's the thing, and we about to run out of time, but we're talking about this change that you made and how it impacted me and you and the way you went about it. And yes, it has been some good things for us, but that change is also going to bring some challenges to us as well. Some things that we have to change and some other hard decisions we may have to make too to make it happen. We're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to try to grow this thing, expand it, make sure we got the right people, make sure we're right. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of work involved, but you kind of driving us in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Which is really, really, really cool. And I'm excited about it. And the thing is though, which is I'll finish with this. I'm glad that you did go and do it on your own because unless I was ready to meet you with the right energy and mindset, I would have took away from you, and I wouldn't have wanted to do that. So that's one thing when it comes to communication and us being on the same page is we have to try to do that up front. And there's unresolved issues of like judgment or not being equal. We have to kind of fix that because you're going to go and react based on things you already feel. The reason you did that was not because on that day you knew I was going to be a certain way. There was history. See what I'm saying? So there was some history that hadn't gotten resolved as, hey, we're equal partners. I respect you. I know you appreciate me. I appreciate you. We appreciate our business and we're on the same page. That hadn't been done yet off of history. So now when you had this opportunity to improve it, you went in a certain direction. But it weren't nothing to do with the opportunity. It was about you being in business with somebody that you don't feel like you can just go to about anything and it be okay. That's what it's all about. So we still got to fix that. No, serious. If you think about it, it's still
Yeah.
got to fix that because the root of it is: am I in business and do I have somebody that believes in me, that I believe in them, and they know that we're on the same page, we're on the same team. Maybe not always the same page, but we're on the same team, no matter what. And they will always look at you through the right lens. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't have that. That's why that happened.
Yeah.
We're
But
working
we
on that.
have had it.
We
It's
have
just
had
at
it.
that time,
We have had it.
it's just a lot going on.
Well, the thing that really happened is, and this will happen, this could happen to a lot of people, is it's good. It's easy to be on the same team when you're winning. It's easy to say, yeah, we're on the same team when you're
Mm.
winning. But what happens when you're losing, or when one person on the team feels like you're losing? That's when you start questioning your teammates. You don't question them when you're winning, you're hitting 3 pointers and alley oop dunks and all that. But you start questioning your teammates when things don't go well, when you start having issues, when you're not at your best, or maybe one of your teammates feel differently, changes, doesn't do the things they used to do, whatever the case may be. And I feel like that's what happened to us is we got hit with some challenges and you had some feelings about our business that you shared that I didn't receive well. So all of a sudden, my teammate became the opposition. And that's why that happened. And with that, we can leave that to next time. Right? But if you
You was
think
drawing
about it,
me in, so
that's
I'm
what
like,
happened.
dang,
Nah,
is
real
that what
talk. We're gonna talk
happened?
about that next time. That's communication. But the next time we should probably touch on that at some point. Maybe not next time. Sometime we talk. But that's what happened. That's what really happened. We were teammates, like you said, friends, wife, Odie Camille. We were dope. We went through a lot of things together, and then we got hit with some adversity in business, and then all of a sudden, mentally, when we looked at each other, we weren't teammates anymore for whatever reason. And we got to be careful with that because
Mm.
you will have disagreements and different visions, but that doesn't mean you're not on the same team. You're still on the same team. One person wants to run formation, the other person wants to run another formation. One person wants to be more offensive, the other person wants to be more defensive. Whatever, you're still on the same team. And if you don't figure out how to communicate through those changes and different feelings, it will divide you. And that's what was gonna happen to us. And it kind of happened to us a little bit because that little bit of division was you going off on your end. Even though it doesn't seem like a big thing, it's a
Oh,
small
I knew
thing.
it was a big thing.
Right. It is a big thing.
That was huge
It
because I
is a
talked to
big
you about
thing.
everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that has to get addressed. That has to get addressed because right now that's happening with XYZ amount of clients and XYZ amount of dollars involved. But maybe one day that XYZ is times 10.
Right.
And now you're making that type of decision that's even more impactful. So maybe that person that was able to get okay with the change, you doing it on your own. Now you're doing it with multi-million dollars, and now we split forever. It'd be the same thing that we couldn't figure out years before, which is,
Mm-hmm.
are we on the same page even though we don't look at things the same way at this moment? Are we on the same team? That's the thing we gotta fix. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And we're gonna work on that. You know what I mean? But don't listen, with all that said, make sure you follow us. hear about all the things we're doing. We want to hear about what you're doing, good things, successes that you're having, the way that you're enjoying your life, being excited about life. But we also want you to be part of this community because we want to hear about the tough times too, the challenges. That's where all the jams are. That's where we learn. That's where we grow together. That's where we help each other out. That transparency, that space that you don't see every day, that's not really popular to talk about. You know what I mean? Unless you've been drinking too much with somebody. But that's what we're gonna have here because when we get better together, it's actually gonna be real and it's gonna be authentic. And I'm excited about that. What about you?
Me too.
Make sure you follow Quiet Money Podcast on all streaming platforms that have podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Leave comments on our videos. Let us know what you're going through, ups and downs. We want to hear from you. We engage with you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.